Okay, so we know there's been a regime collapse in Syria, and a new group have come in, haven't they?
Are they?
Don't worry about too much who they are and what they really think and believe. Don't
I
worry.
mean, I mean,
Don't worry about
are
that.
they all for pride and sending women to school and being nice to Christians? Are they?
It doesn't matter. Just Assad bad, and he's gone.
All right, okay,
So
fair enough.
so that's good. That's all that really matters. Um, However, we do know that a load of jihadis went over there to fight
Yes.
on both sides, actually, and
Yes.
we don't want them back. So a lot of countries have sort of stopped their asylum applications or frozen their borders to returning Syrian jihadis.
Well, we've actually stopped an immigrant for once.
So, it is possible to police your borders to some extent. When they do want to do that, they can. That's
Remarkable.
interesting.
Yeah.
So Finland announces its freeze on all Syrian asylum applications because you don't want any of those pro-Assad jihadis coming back. Don't worry about the plethora of other stripes of jihadi from all over the world, but pro-Assad ones can't have those in Finland or in Switzerland. Switzerland's done the same. What a terrible image! Look at that beautiful Swiss town and a bunch of
Syrians.
God knows who. Austria.
Oh,
Austria have decided that they've had enough of these types of people flooding their country.
Can you imagine the mason who had just spent 30 years working on that monument behind him, and then he steps back and looks at it and thinks this is good? If you could show him this photo and say, 1,000 years later, this is what this area is going to look like. Just Syrians everywhere.
Aghast, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Syrians. Italy. It's funny how they all act in unison. I often think on the international stage, it is a bit like in a playground where one kid does something or says something.
Yeah.
None of the others have got the balls to go to do it, but one kid does it first, and then everyone realises, he's done it and got away with it or whatever. So we'll all do it now.
It's funny how just about every story we cover these days, we either mention explicitly in the story or people point it out in the comments. Oh yeah, they're doing this everywhere else as well. Like every story.
It's almost like there's some sort of undisclosed covert one world government.
Yeah, it's funny that.
It's almost like they're acting in unison as if they were one government.
How curious.
It's almost as if that.
Yeah.
Germany. The Germans also suspending all asylum from Syria. The bad jihadis coming back from Syria, not the good ones. Sweden, Norway and Denmark all falling in line. So they can control their borders a bit, at least to some extent,
When they want to. Yeah.
Britain. Starmer got the memo.
Battle-hardened Islamic State fighters from the UK could be freed from prison. Okay, so the people who supported the dentist, it's very important that they're not allowed into the country. But the beheaders, Islamic beheaders, we've got to let them out of jail now.
Yeah. It makes sense, just, not to a rational mind, but let's...
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Lammy apparently went on TV. I didn't actually see this, but went on TV saying, no, we're not suspending any asylum applications. And then the Home Office just said, no, we are. No, we are, though. So he didn't get the memo, or he didn't read the memo.
Did you? A quick aside. Did you see the Tucker interview that he did with Sergei Lavrov?
No, I didn't know.
I'd
recently, in the last few days or something.
Yeah.
All right, no.
I had a number of people sort of pointed out to me, and I just sent a picture of David Lammy back and said, the Russians have got Sergei Lavrov, but we've got David Lammy. Checkmate, Russia.
Yeah. We've got the towering intellect of David Lammy.
Yes.
He knows how things work. He knows how the world works. So
yes,
let's have him at the foreign.
Lowest score on mastermind of all time.
So we're So a lot of the countries in Western Europe have decided that returning jihadis from Syria are beyond the pale.
Right, because they supported the dentist.
So that's interesting to say. Yeah, if they supported the dentist. Yeah. Oh no, wait, he was an eye doctor, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
think he was an eye doctor.
I knew he was one of the obscure medical fields,
Yeah.
but I couldn't remember. He's an eye doctor
Anyway.
then.
Anyway,
What's that,
I
an
knew who he
optologist or something?
What is the proper word for an eye doctor? I can't remember. Yeah.
I think it's an optologist. Could be wrong.
So also other news coming out of Syria that I think is interesting is that Israel have dipped their oar in. They're getting involved.
Right.
What,
Golan Heights?
Well, it is in their region. So over the past few days, the Israeli military has launched extensive airstrikes across Syria, targeting military sites, air defences and naval assets. Sounds like a full-blown thing to me. Reports confirm that the Israeli Defence Force, the IDF, have struck over 250 locations, severely impacting Syrian military infrastructure, including the destruction of key air bases and the Syrian Navy's missile fleet in strategic locations like Minat al-Badia, I don't know where that is, and some other place I can't pronounce. The strikes come in the context of ongoing regional tensions with Israel aiming to prevent the proliferation of advanced weaponry to potential threats. In other words, blow up his proper good military assets so the new blokes, the new rebels, don't get it.
I mean, it's handy that they had a list of targets ready to go just in case there was a moment of instability. Yeah. Do you think we've got a list of French military targets just in case, if the government were to fall? And if Macron were to be deposed, do you think we've got a list ready where we could just launch the fighters now, take out the French bases?
British military, Horse Guards Parade. It's got a map somewhere.
Yes.
Maybe we need to take out their naval base at Toulon or something. I don't know. I mean,
well, I'd like to think.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. But if you were looking at this strictly from a pragmatic Israeli point of view, it does make sense. I mean, on some level, I don't blame them at all, really, because we know Assyria has got at least some chemical weapons, right?
Yeah.
So it might be best to blow those up so that the new chaps don't get their dirty mitts on them. Maybe that is for the best. But it's also extremely...
yes.
Well, maybe not extremely, but it's also fairly cynical from the Israelis. They're like, well, this is a long-term strategic enemy.
Yes.
And we can just blow up their navy and air force right now, so
yes, so
let's go ahead and do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Shouldn't laugh, really. It's
well, as with most things Israeli, the thing that bothers me about it the most is that we don't do it. I mean, they have got the most robust ethno-nationalist setup that you could ever hope for. Their border is policed, I mean, apart from on certain days, their border is policed with barbed wire and machine guns. And I just think, well, yeah, why can't we have that?
They stand up for themselves.
Yeah. So sometimes...
Won't be ordered around by the State Department.
Sometimes robust ethno-nationalism is a good thing, and in all other cases it's a bad thing, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, Scottish nationalism is fine. Welsh nationalism is fine. Irish nationalism. Not American or English, though.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, something wrong with that.
Can't have that. No. Israeli forces have conducted extensive military operations across Syria following the fall of President Bashar al-Assad. The operations involved Israeli troops moving close to Damascus. There were some reports that there's even tank divisions, but other reports saying that's not true. Airstrikes targeting numerous Syrian military installations and the destruction of a significant portion of Syria's air force capabilities. International reactions have varied, with some countries condemning the incursion as a land grab, while others urge the situation to be temporary. So there you go, and a fair bit of the news mentioned it. The BBC saying that saying that Israel are doing this. The Telegraph, the chemical weapons. Well, that Israel want to create some sort of buffer zone. That they'll get maybe like the Kurds or some other faction to control the region between Israel and Syria. So there's some sort of buffer zone while they figure out exactly
extending 200 miles in each direction from their borders. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah, just while we figure out exactly what this new regime are all about. Really what they're going to do and what they're like.
Well, a wild
Israel
guess.
Pounds Damascus.
At a wild guess, they're going to start slaughtering Christians.
Oh, no doubt.
I say that's a wild guess is because whenever the the collective West does anything anywhere, the result is always Christians get slaughtered. Every time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I was slightly more suspicious, I might start to ask why Christians always getting slaughtered is the accidental outcome of all of these interventions.
I don't really know anything about the new guy and his regime, but don't hold out any real hope that he's going to be good or in any sense, other than for his particular brand of Islamism.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the days when ISIS was bad.
Yeah, Sky News, yeah, saying it's a land grab. Yeah, probably, yeah. The Times of Israel, gloating over it. Their generals huddled in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Yeah, the war pigs. So that's something that's happening. We're stopping one particular small type of Syrian jihadi from coming to Western Europe, but in all other senses. Of course, there will be some sort of exodus of the losers, and as it stands, they'll just get on a dinghy, right? They'll find their way to Calais.
Yes.
Get on a dinghy, and their IDs they'll just drop into the channel.
Well, if they put out the word we're no longer accepting Syrians, I just toss my Syrian passport then.
Or have they got a Tony Blair digital ID? That will stop all of this. That will definitely stop all of that.
Yes.
If you would like to watch the full uncut version that is also uncensored, head on over to lotuseaters.com to find out more.